Good morning, student. Let us begin with today's module of the chapter Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry. So in this module, we are going to discuss about matter, its classification of matter on the basis of its physical properties and chemical composition. So let us begin. So what is matter? Everything that is around us and the presence of which can be felt with the help of any of our five senses, that is sight, touch, smell, hearing and taste, is called matter. In fact, this whole universe is made up of only two things, that is matter and energy. Experience has shown that all types of matter possess mass and occupy space. Hence, we can define matter as anything that occupies space, possesses mass, and the presence of which can be felt by any one or more of our five senses. That is called matter. Some of the examples are as follows: clothes, iron, gold, plastics, wood, water, milk, petrol, kerosene oil, here tea, etc. The examples of matter are innumerable, but we have discussed few. So let us proceed further. So this is the mind map of our today's lesson. Classification of matter on the basis of physical properties and on the basis of chemical composition. So let us discuss each one of them in details. So this is the physical classification of matter. So the physical classification of matter means matter is being classified on the basis of physical properties as solid, liquid, gas, and there are two more states, that is plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. As you are knowing, in the cold winter season, water starts to freeze and a layer of ice forms on the surface of water. This phenomenon is observed in rivers and lakes in colder countries. When a vessel filled with water is kept on a kitchen stove, it boils. We can see the water vapor leaving the vessel. Therefore, water exists in forms solid as ice, liquid as water, and gases as vapor. So these different forms of water are called states of matter. A state of matter is a distinct form of matter. So let us discuss each state in details one by one. So the first one is solid state. As in solids, the constituent particles are very close to each other. The freedom of movement in solids is less. This is because of the strong forces of attraction among the particles. As you can see from here, the particles are very compact from the first figure. Thus, solids have a definite volume and a definite shape. Solids only deform when subjected to some external force. The constituent particles of solids do possess internal energy, because of which the particles vibrate about their mean position. So the vibration increases with the rise in temperature. Various properties associated with solids are like elasticity, plasticity, rigidity, malleability, etc. So solids can further now be classified as amorphous and crystalline solids. These two types of solids we will discuss in later on chapter in solid state. Like in amorphous solids, the particles are randomly arranged. There is no orderly repeating pattern, like for example rubber, chalk, plastic. And for crystalline solids, the particles are regularly arranged in a symmetrical manner to form a unit cell. So for like example sodium chloride, you can see from here the structure, it is the structure of sodium chloride, the second one, crystalline structure of NaCl. And the third one is the structure of diamond, etc. So now we are knowing solids on heating convert into liquids. So this is called melting of solids. When ice is left open in air, it slowly melts to form liquid water. So the solid can directly transform into gas through a process called sublimation. So moving further, coming to the liquid state. So liquids come between solids and gases. So the constituent particles in liquids are close to each other, though they are not as close as in solids. Intermolecular forces among particles are relatively stronger in comparison to gases, but weaker to solids. The particles in liquids can easily move around each other. Liquids have a definite volume but not a definite shape. They assume the shape of the container in which they are kept. Most liquids are incompressible. Some of the properties associated with liquids are like density, flowability, conductivity, viscosity, surface tension, etc. Liquids, on heating, transform into gases by the process of vaporization. As you can see from the first figure, here the liquid is being converted into vapor, but liquid on freezing they solidified. And from the second figure you can see the molecular arrangement of the in the liquid state in water. The intermolecular forces are comparatively less than solid and the spaces are comparatively more than solids. So moving further, coming to the gaseous state. Gases have neither a fixed volume nor a definite shape. They take the volume and shape of a container in which they are kept. The constituent particles of gases are far apart from each other, as you can see from here from the figure. The molecular arrangement of the gases, they are farther apart from each other. So because of that, intermolecular spaces are very much, and the intermolecular forces of attraction is very weak. The particles can move freely in any direction. The velocity of particles in gases is much higher relative to liquids and gases. Since the particles in gases are far apart, there is a lot of empty spaces between the particles, so they can easily compress. Gases has the lowest density compared to solid and liquid. Some of the properties associated to gases are like density, pressure, temperature, viscosity. One more thing, gases can be liquefied under pressure and reducing the temperature. This process is called liquefaction of gases. So they can also convert directly from transformed into solid through a process known as deposition. Gas is directly transformed into solid through a process called deposition or desublimation. And from solid to gases, that is called sublimation. Some of the examples like hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, carbon dioxide gas, etc. So this is the gaseous state. Moving further, coming to our fourth state, that is plasma. The state consists of super energetic and super excited particles. These particles are in the form of ionized gases. The fluorescent tube, neon sign bulbs consist of plasma. The gas gets ionized when electrical energy flows through it. This charging up creates a plasma glowing inside the tube or bulb. The plasma glows with a special color depending upon the nature of gas. The plasma is created in stars because of very high temperature. The scientists are still in the process to find out more and more thing about these two states, that is the fourth one plasma and the fifth state is Bose-Einstein condensate. The fifth state is formed by cooling a gas of extremely low density, about 100,000 the density of normal air, to super low temperature. If we are considering plasma as the super hot and super excited atoms, then the atoms in Bose-Einstein condensate are totally opposite. They are condensate, unexcited and supercooled atoms. So these are the 5 states of matter. So now these states of matter can be interconverted to each other. So like you can see from here, from solid is converted into liquid by the process called melting, and liquid to solid by the process called freezing. Now liquid to gas by the process called vaporization, and from gas to liquid condensation, and from solid to gas sublimation, gas to solid deposition or desublimation, from gas to plasma it is ionization, and from plasma to gas deionization. So these 4 states are interconverted into each other by the changing the conditions of temperature and pressure. So this is the interconversion of states of matter. So coming towards the chemical classification of matter. So broadly speaking, the chemical classification of matter is being classified on the basis of chemical composition as pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances is now further classified as elements, compounds, and mixture is being of 2 types, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. And under elements we are going to discuss about metals, non-metals, metalloids. And under homogeneous mixture, true solutions, and under heterogeneous, colloids and suspension. So this is the classification of matter on the basis of chemical composition. So first is pure substances. All types of matter are believed to be made up of substances. A material containing only one substance is called a pure substance. On the other hand, materials containing more than one substance are not pure and are called mixtures. Pure substances are further classified into 2 types called elements and compounds. So mixtures are also of 2 types, namely homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Now for pure substances that is elements and compounds are always homogeneous. Homogeneous mixture are also called solutions. A single phase in which a solution occurs may be gaseous, liquid or solid. Like air, salt dissolved in water and brass are examples of gaseous, liquid and solid solutions respectively. So now moving further, now elements can be defined as a pure substance that contains only one kind of particles. These particles may be atoms or molecules like carbon, sulfur, iron. All these are some of the examples of elements. Thus, whereas iron, gold, copper, etc. contain only single atoms as constituent particles held together in some other cases, the constituent particles are molecules which contain 2 or more atoms combined together. For example, hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, nitrogen gas consist of molecules comprising of 2 atoms combined together. The number of elements present today are various. So those can be categorized under as metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now moving towards compounds. Compounds, what are compounds? A compound is a pure substance containing 2 or more than 2 elements combined together in a fixed proportion by mass and which can be decomposed into its constituent elements by suitable chemical methods. Further, the properties of a compound are completely different from those of its constituent elements. Like you can take the example of water. For example, water is a compound containing hydrogen and oxygen combined together in fixed proportion, that is 1:8 by mass. So it can be decomposed into its constituent elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen, only by using chemical method, by passing electricity through water. So further, the properties of water are completely different from its constituents, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So like for hydrogen is a combustible gas and oxygen gas is a supporter of combustion. So that's why water is considered as a compound. Now moving further about homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. So what are homogeneous mixture? A mixture is said to be homogeneous if its composition is uniform throughout. Means mixture having a uniform composition and properties throughout are called homogeneous mixture. And for heterogeneous mixture, a mixture is said to be heterogeneous if its composition is not uniform throughout. Means in the heterogeneous mixture, there is non-uniform composition throughout. We will discuss the examples later on. So moving further, here you can see pure substances and mixture. So pure substances, elements and compounds. The atoms are present, all the atoms are similar, and in compounds, atoms are present in combined state. And in mixture you can see homogeneous and heterogeneous. In homogeneous, the atoms, there is uniform composition, and in heterogeneous there is non-uniform composition of atoms. Now see elements and compounds. You can see under elements atoms and molecules. Atoms like sodium, calcium, gold, and molecules like hydrogen molecules. Two hydrogen atoms are present in combined state. Oxygen, two oxygen atom, chlorine, two chlorine atoms. So these are elements. And for compounds, sodium chloride, carbon dioxide, methane, water, hydrogen chloride, these all are compounds. These all the elements present in these examples are present in combined state in a particular fixed ratio. So now coming towards the example of homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. So for homogeneous mixture, you can say that the components of a homogeneous mixture are not visible with naked eye or even under a microscope. A homogeneous mixture consists of only one phase. The single phase in which a homogeneous mixture occurs may be gaseous, liquid or solid. Like for example, let us consider air. Air is a homogeneous mixture of a number of gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, ozone, etc. And whereas petrol, kerosene oil, diesel like are homogeneous mixture of number of liquid hydrocarbons. Those are hydrocarbons, liquid hydrocarbons. So similarly, when you are considering taking example like alloys such as brass, bronze, these are also homogeneous mixtures of metals. Like for now coming towards now coming towards heterogeneous mixture. So heterogeneous mixture consists of two or more distinct phases. The components of a heterogeneous mixture are visible with naked eye or at least under a microscope. For example, the components of a mixture of iron, sulfur and common salt can be seen with naked eye. Yes, lying side by side, but the components of milk, which is also heterogeneous, though it looks to be homogeneous, but it is a heterogeneous mixture because the fats, proteins and all those things are suspended in the clear liquid which can only be seen under a microscope. Few other examples of heterogeneous includes like smoke, which is a mixture of carbon particles, air, gunpowder, mixture of carbon, sulfur, niter. Like strictly speaking now we can say that air is also a heterogeneous mixture, but we are considering air as homogeneous because we are not only considering for the majority of gases present in air, and if we are going to consider air as heterogeneous mixture only if we are going to consider the dust particles and all those things present in air. So these are the classification of mixture under homogeneous and heterogeneous. So this is all about matter, its nature and classification. So today we have discussed matter, its nature and classification on the basis of physical states and chemical composition. Thank you, students.